I'm Clarke. I run a SoCal-based design studio and fabrication facility. I started into the off-road and pre-runner industry and just loving what I saw when I was 16 or so. We would go out to local desert races like MDR and SCORE, and I would just go spectate and see trucks. And I grew up in Laverne, California. There was a shop called Solo Motorsports that I would go and I'd see Bobby. And I remember I went in there the first time to get an XR50 swing arm fixed. And I saw all these trucks, and I didn't quite know what was going on there, but they were building, they had 1450 trucks, and they had pre-runners and a couple Broncos, and I just saw that, and I glued to that, and I stuck to that, and something resonated with me where that was a important thing that I needed to address in my life as far as diving into that or, finding passion with that stuff. When I was 16, I got a Ford Explorer, and it had a roll cage and it had some tires on it and some shocks. We went out to every MDR race there was. We went to old Desert Rangers meets. We went to Rialto Off-Road Raceway. Sandblast was a thing before that as well. I just was around pre-runners all the time. And I found interest in the pre-runners way more than I did the off-road race vehicle. I appreciate a race vehicle, but something about having a steel cab and working doors and a sealed, environment inside with proper suspension on all corners and having it street legal. There's something cool about that I can't let go of to this day. And since I was 16, I didn't know my exact path. And I did structural steel when I was 18 years old. I started doing architectural and structural steel, where I would learn the basics of welding, learn all the fundamentals, get LA certified for welding, TIG welding, MIG welding, flux core, all the stuff. And, even when I started for months, I would just grind handrail and just sit there and just grind and operate the cranes and the punches and the big brakes. And that was just part of my path now that I see has been beneficial. Now it's a tool that's in my toolbox. When I was 24, I got accepted into Art Center College of Design in Pasadena for transportation design. The same major as Chip Foose. And I wanted to be a car designer. My whole life I drew cars and I sketched, and in middle school and elementary school I would get in trouble because I couldn't stop drawing. That was my thing. They would call my parents and we'd have to have a meeting, and Morgan we tell him to stop drawing and he can't stop drawing. And it started where I would draw aircraft and I'd draw, jets and World War II planes, and then it turned into, through high school, I just started drawing pre-runners. I-beam Silverados and all just cool stuff. That was my main thing. So once I went to Art Center, I got a real gist of design and how things, form follows function is something I live by. I always go for how does this thing need to function? How does it need to work? And then I design it and I stylize that part or whatever the mechanism is supposed to do right to the, the brink of where its functionality still works, but it's got extreme design. And that's what I like to do with everything I build, is I try to put design and style, I put an emphasis on that. 2008 hits, my stepdad and my mom are putting me through Art Center. I had to drop out. So it was a huge thing. It was, I still have feelings because that's where I wanted to be. I wanted to be designing cars. I wanted to be working at Ford or, GM or BMW, working with a team and designing concept cars and just creating every day. That was my absolute passion. And it was a hard hit pulling out of that place. And, I went right back to working for my stepdad, doing architectural and structural steel, wearing steel toe boots, operating cranes, welding all day, sanding stuff all day, lots of stuff with aluminum and stainless, and reading plans and then having to blend everything. And, a lot of stuff with structural and architectural. They want very nice grain blended surfaces. I got so pulled away from the desert I had a street car then, and it was a Corvette Z06, an older one, and I got rid of it. I put up an ad, and I said, "We'll trade for 4-door Prerunner," period. Because I was like, I'm over it. What am I doing? I'm not going to college anymore. I need to get back into my roots where I used to love to go to the desert and just enjoy that. And so I found a truck out of Vegas, and I traded my car straight up. And I ended up rebuilding the whole truck, and I call her Beth. And it made an imprint in my life that changed the direction and the sales, where a guy offered me a job to go work at a fabrication shop. And I quit my job with my stepdad, and I went down right away and I worked. And I didn't realize that I could, live a dream of building things and fabricating and building stuff with my hand that I thought was cool, and being part of that so fast where I could get paid for it. And that led to me working at several different shops. And I learned a lot working at different places, but more or less my struggles would be wanting to do things the way I thought they should be done, or wanting to put design into things that were just, constant. The projects that were being put out of these shops would just do it like we did before. Do it this way because that's how we did it, and that's how we did it before, and we're not changing it, or it's gonna take too much time to do it like this, or just do it like that. And I didn't have that design direction where I couldn't really fuel my creativity the way I needed to. And within these, let's call it 5 or 6 years, I've gotten to this place now where I run my own business. I have 2 employees, and we work on special things. Every single project I have in here is special. However you want to cut it. It might not be a full-blown luxury Prerunner, but it might be something that is a frame rail truck that's street legal that's still just as special as that, because we put the attention to detail into design. Everything is designed and is functional, and form follows function. That's the bottom line with everything. And so every single part and line and break and every single thing is based off of form follows function, and it's designed. Part of my mentality through my life and with jobs has been being able to be passionate about something and waking up and looking forward to doing that every day. And some people call it an artist mentality, and I don't necessarily like that. But there is something there where if I don't have a job where I'm into it and I'm passionate about it and I look forward to it, I suck. I don't want to show up. I don't want to do it. I bring baggage home. It's like a suit that I'm not happy wearing. And finding a place where I can build stuff for people, and put all my passion and design into it, that's where I'm happy inside. And that's what keeps me going every day. Every day, whether I'm having to demo stuff out of a vehicle to get it ready for the project, or, I'm able to just go and do full sheet metal or whatever I want to do to it, I'm happy to do it every day. Every day I wake up happy to work this job. And I'm grateful for every single person that we do business with.